All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are going to take a look at an animated horror story to really understand the architecture of a good scare. We're deconstructing the Ghost of Eden Hill, and we're going to pull it apart piece by piece to see exactly what makes a simple ghost story so incredibly effective. You know that feeling, right? That sudden little prickle on the back of your neck when the silence in a room just feels a little too heavy? Well, this story, it taps directly into that primal fear. It starts in a situation that feels completely ordinary, and then it just twists everything. So our story kicks off in a place that should feel totally safe, a high school library. The main character is just a student, studying late for his final exams. It's a mundane, super familiar setting, which, as you're about to see, is the absolute perfect stage for creating some genuine horror. Look at how the story uses this simple passage of time to build this sense of unease. At 6 p.m., it's just a normal study session. By 8 p.m., his usual time to head home, things are still fine. But then, 10 p.m. hits. He looks up from his books, and the library is completely empty. That comfort of a shared space, it just evaporates, and suddenly he is profoundly alone. And this right here is the first critical turn. The story takes something you'd expect in a library, quiet, and it totally weaponizes it. It's no longer just quiet for studying, it becomes an absolute silence. It's this heavy, unnatural void where every tiny sound is about to feel like a massive explosion. So the trap is set. We've got an isolated character in a place that just doesn't feel safe anymore. Now let's see how the story starts to build on this foundation, introducing these little elements that can't be so easily explained away. It starts with just a sound. In that absolute silence, this distinct noise cuts through. Someone limping. It's irregular, it's unsettling, and it immediately tells you something is wrong. That is not the sound of another student or a librarian. No, that's the sound of something broken. So of course he's freaked out, he grabs his books and just runs for it. But as he gets into this long school corridor, he sees her, a lone figure of a woman, standing way at the other end. The distance makes her mysterious, almost like a silhouette, and it turns a simple hallway into this terrifying gauntlet that he has to cross. He does what any of us might do, right? He calls out, "Who's there?" But the second he does, she vanishes. Not walking away, not hides, poof, just gone. This is such a classic horror move because it forces the character, and us, to question reality. Was she ever really there? Or is this mind just playing tricks on him? He bursts through the school doors, just expecting that relief of the normal world. But the horror, it follows him. The street outside, a place that should be busy even late at night, is completely deserted. His isolation isn't just in the library anymore. The entire world has seemingly emptied out, just for him. There's literally no escape. Okay, this is it. This is the climax. The dread has been building, layer by layer, and now there's nowhere left to run. Our protagonist is about to come face to face with the source of his terror, and this encounter is so much stranger than just a simple attack. He's walking on that empty street, and he suddenly sees her shadow, and then the woman herself is there, right in front of him. And we get these chillingly specific details. Her clothes are tattered, her hands and feet are all twisted, her hair is a mess. This isn't just some vague ghost, it's the image of someone who has suffered immensely. And then she speaks. She doesn't scream or threaten him, she just asks this one completely incomprehensible question. Where is she? The sheer weirdness of it is what's so terrifying. It's desperate, it's confusing, and it hints at some kind of purpose we can't possibly understand yet. He completely panics, points off into the distance just to make her go away, and she limps off into the darkness. But the horror isn't over, not even close. Next comes the reveal, the backstory that finally clicks everything into place and makes the whole thing 10 times more chilling. So as he's running for his life, he hears a scream from far away in the darkness. But it's not a scream of rage, it's a scream of discovery. She is here. It is the sound of a successful hunt. And after that, he remembers nothing. He just passes out from pure fear before a neighbor finally finds him. So this is where it all comes together. The neighbor explains the local legend. Back in 1998, a woman named Agatha lost her 10-year-old daughter in a tragic accident at that very school. Now her ghost just wanders the area, forever searching for her child. And suddenly that strange, terrifying question, "Where is she?" makes perfect, heartbreaking sense. Okay, so
We've gone through the story. Now let's put on our analyst hats for a second. Why is this narrative so effective? What are the specific techniques it's using to get under our skin and just stay there?
Well, this story basically uses a time-tested recipe for horror. It takes a familiar, safe place and makes it strange. It methodically isolates its main character. It escalates the tension from just a subtle sound to a terrifying face-to-face encounter. And most importantly, it gives us the tragic ghost, a spirit driven not by some mindless evil, but by pain.
And this comparison really gets to the heart of why Agatha is so memorable. A generic monster that creates simple fear. We just want to run or fight it. But a grieving spirit that creates a complex fear that's mixed with empathy. We actually understand her motivation, which makes her relentless search so much more chilling. Her actions aren't random. They have a painful driving purpose.
And that's really the key takeaway, isn't it? Stories like this one work because they feel like they could be true. They make you look at the familiar corners of your own world, your old school, your neighborhood, and they make you wonder, what tragedies do those places hold? What stories are whispering just out of earshot?